Hello, hello, keep singings members. There we go. Let's get a little light on this side of the face so I don't look like the Phantom of the Opera. How are y'all? I'm glad to see you, kind of, metaphorically speaking. I am hoping that things are going well for you. Something's wrong with my the tilt of this. What's going on here? All right, there we go. Okay, so today I want to tell you some things about your voice. Let me set my timer so that I don't get all, distracted and carried away. I'm giving myself 25 minutes so we can wrap it up in the 5 minutes following. So today I want to tell you some things about your voice. I've got some notes here in front of me. I want to stay on track. And we'll roll with it. Okay, today is week 1 of June. Woo! So now I want to tell you in advance, and I'll send a message out about this too, but I'm going to be on a choir tour with my daughters next week. We do a ministry tour. This is my 2nd year, my eldest daughter's 3rd year, but the kids prepare a really awesome program that they do that has a lot of gospel messaging in it, and a lot of hope, and a lot of love, and a lot of bridge building. And we take it to prisons, and both adult and youth prisons, both male and female. And the prisons are usually separate, but anyways, we take it, and it's amazing. The opportunities for conversation are amazing. Last year was my first time, and I have been in many ministry situations, and even in ministry, in prison ministry type of things, and just relationships, but not ever with youth. And I've never seen this type of interaction before. I've never been part of it. I never did anything like it when I was a teen, and it was incredible. It was incredible. It was truly incredible to see the connections that our kids made after the program was over, and praying with inmates, and just as equals, and as some of the inmates, are believers. Some are struggling with faith, as you could imagine. Some of them were incredibly encouraging to the kids. So it was, and some could care less, right? But they came because it gave them something to do. But for the most part, their attendance is optional and elective. They do not have to come. And even the kids, the youth, incarcerated youth, they don't have to come usually. It's an elective situation, and they are, for the most part, respectful and very nice. But the thing that really got me and meant so much to me was the connections made afterward, as the kids got to relate peer to peer, and even praying together with those peers. And sometimes the inmates prayed for our kids, and I mean, it was incredible. So we're going again, and we're leaving Saturday, and we'll be gone for a week. So I will not be able to do Q&A week, which is next week. So, but please do send your questions, because I want them. And I also want your what's in your way issues. Please. Okay? Send, please. Please, please, please. So, okay, so let's talk about your voice. I want you to know some things we have covered in other lessons, replays, module. We have covered some of the basics of how your voice, how your body respirates or breathes. The inhale, the exhale. We just on a normal basis, how it works. Inhale and exhale, what's the cause and effect? How does it all happen? We have also then covered how does breathing for singing differ and how is it similar and different to regular autonomic or the kind of breathing that you don't have to think about. How does singing breathing compare? And then we have learned singing, breathing for singing. We have learned some strengthening exercises because one of the things we learned is you need to have a controlled, a limited inhale, and you need to have a controlled exhale when you sing. That is unlike, let me turn off my little ding, ding, dings here. I'm at work. All right. So you need to have a controlled exhale that helps balance the coordination between the diaphragm and the larynx. Because one thing we do not want is overblowing, because that is what causes the muscles on the outside of the larynx to be tense and to grab and to interfere with the muscles inside the larynx, which you do want to be working. You want them to have their appropriate tensions, and because they need to have tension to create the tone and create the pitch. Your voice will resonate, your vocal voice will vibrate correctly or oscillate correctly, and and your larynx will send your vocal tone to the various parts of your body that will resonate it according to the frequency that you're singing in, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that just means high or low. It's gonna resonate differently. So we've talked about all that so far, and I want to do a little bit of wrap up of that. So to kind of tie things together, we've got the breathing, we've got the coordinated, controlled release of the breath between the diaphragm, pressing air up through the lungs to the larynx, and that coordinated effect that it has then, so that the larynx is freed to do its work and is able to do its work without being grabbed at by the external muscles. You want to have appropriate tension. You don't want to have external tension to the larynx, grabbing the larynx. And then we have also talked about resonance. This is what makes your voice unique. There is no one in the universe, no one past, present, or future who will ever have your exact voice. I've probably told you that before, but I'm going to tell you it again because I want you to know your voice is unique. There is no, and here's why. It's the resonance piece of the whole vocal production package. And so what I mean by this is after your diaphragm sends up air and forces the larynx stretches to whatever length and thickness that your brain has said, okay, I want to produce such and such a pitch, and I want to sing high, sing low. I mean, the brain knows what frequency is required and what type of resistance is required to that air pressure that's building up. Remember, we talked about the sound waves coming in little pulses, and that's sound waves, and that's what moves through the air to enter our eardrum, so that which then interacts with the brain, and we hear the voice. Y'all, like, there's so many sermons in there. It's incredible. Such a witness to a creative, amazing, powerful God who attends to these details. I mean, it just, it's amazing. Okay, soapbox aside. So we have this tension and the appropriate tension. Okay, So we have the release of the air in those little bursts, creating the sound waves. All right. So those sound waves first, before they leave the body, they bounce around in those nanoseconds after production of the tone, because the tone is created there, the basic tone. And then those sound waves bounce around inside your body in the spaces that are available to them and against the hard surfaces and soft surfaces that are available to them too. So this is why your voice is completely unique. Aside from emotion and life experience, which that we'll get to that in just a second, because that also makes it unique. But there's nobody, even if you have an identical twin, and some of you might, even if you have an identical twin, and even if your voices sound alike, chances are excellent that a voice analyzer will be able to tell the difference, a computer voice analyzer. That is because you do not have the exact same internal structures as each other. And if you're not a twin, you absolutely don't have anyone in the universe ever who has the exact same internal structures. Now, added to that, you have also your life experience, your perception of the world, everything, your emotions, and all those also filter in to create your unique voice. It all works together. So there's no one ever who has the same voice as you and the same expression of that voice as you. So if you ever have wondered or bemoaned or whatever, that is it worth my time and investment and my energy to create, to try to build into my voice? Yes, yes, it is. And I'm not just saying that, this is the most economical possible, this is the most economical vocal instruction and coaching product that's even out there. So I am not after your money, okay, to tell you that yes, 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 it is worth it for you to develop your voice. Yes, let there be no doubt. There's no other voice in all of history that's like yours. And there's no, because of those reasons, the physical and the emotional and life experience stuff, there's no one like you. So please let me urge you, if you're not on track with okay, this is going to sound like I am after your money, but I'm not. But hey, this is a business, so it's not a giveaway. But I'm going to tell you, if you for two reasons. One is I need an income. Two is you need skin in the game. Okay, so let's just put that out there. Okay, we're all adults here, so let's just put that out there. But if you are not on track, if you have not started still and you joined months ago or even joined last month and you haven't done anything yet and you don't have a vocal practice in place, go back, do the modules, watch the replays, build yourself go back and do your vision, work on your vision, go back and extract your goals, your vocal goals from your vision for your voice. Then based on those goals, develop your daily practice, your DVP, your daily vocal practice, develop it, keep it super simple, use your Fab 5 model, which I've also talked about in other lessons, and there's the file in there for you. Print those out, use them, y'all. And if you need help, I am here. As a member of Keep Singing, you get a dramatic discount on one-on-one vocal coaching time with me. You even have discount on weekly private lessons with me or standalone private lessons with me. You don't have to commit to weekly. We can do, a series of 2 or 4 or 6 or however many. And there's also the laser coaching session. If you're like, I've got this one question or this one problem, this one issue, this one thing I want to tweak or understand better, you've got that, and you have discounts on all those as a member. So take advantage of them. Take advantage of them. If you need a kick in the pants, hit me up for a laser coaching session, laser vocal coaching session. If you need a little bit of overtime help getting yourself all together and organized so that you have a plan, so that you know exactly what to do, hit me up for some of those, okay? So you're not alone anymore. You're not alone anymore. You have a plan available to you that is sustainable, that is easy, well, you have to put effort into it, but it's simple and sustainable, rememberable, memorable, rememberable, that you can remember, that you don't have to have a lot of gadgets and gizmos and whatever. You can do it. So hit me up if you need some private stuff, okay? Private time with me to get yourself all set up. Okay, so now, what I wanted to talk with you about today was that we've talked about resonance, we've talked about high and low pitch, we've talked about passaggio, which is that, passaggio is the way your larynx moves and shifts to move you from area to area of your voice as you move up and down in frequency, which causes an up and down in pitch. And your voice has a number of passaggios in it. That just means passageway. It has one major passageway or one major passaggio, and that is the primo passaggio. You gotta say it, Italian-y. And that's the one where people call it their voice cracks or their voice warbles. You get the yodel. That's where people yodel from. That. Okay, so that's the larynx shifting quickly so that you can move from your lower portion of your range to your upper portion of your range. And if you cannot access both areas of your range, again, I've taught about it, go back and listen, but hit me up for some either a laser coaching session, just a brief 15-20 minute time, or some standalone sessions. But I just don't want you to be stuck. I just don't want you to be stuck. And hit me up on what's in your way week. If that's a problem for you, send me the problems, okay, so I can address them. I want to know what you need and what you want. So we've talked about resonance. We've talked about where are your vocal cords. We've talked about vocal cord vibration. We've talked about the oscillation, and we've talked about sound waves. We've talked about breath support. I have given you two different images of breath support, one from Seth Riggs, one from who does classical and contemporary, one from Jeannie Diva, and the three breathing exercises are from Jeannie Diva, and they match up with Seth Riggs. It's just that Seth doesn't break it down, but almost including Seth Riggs, including back there, my girl, Estelle Liebling, who is deceased, but that's classical, all right? But they all agree. They all say the same thing about breath support. They just say it differently, all right? Just want you to know that. One of the things that Seth Riggs, the phrase that he coined, but that she also talked about back in the day, because Seth Riggs studied classically, and yeah, anyways, that's a whole nother, okay, let's not get into all that stuff. But it is the concept of keeping your larynx at conversation level. Seth Riggs calls it speech level singing. It doesn't mean that you are talking at a conversational decibel level. It means having your larynx stay at a conversational level. When you're just speaking in conversation, your larynx is relaxed and is in its normal position. If you raise it, you end up with an imposed larynx sound, kind of Kermit the Frogish. If you, that's imposed. If you I think it's depose. If you lower it, then you end up with a muddy sound. And I'm actually physically lowering it. And a lot of men and women do this to try to reach lower pitches. Never, never highly recommended. Maybe for effect, maybe for a character, but you want to sing where your larynx is relaxed and at a conversation level. So that's what we're going to do today is we're going to explore what it feels like to keep your vocal folds connected at conversation level or speech level singing, and but keep them connected between chest and head voice. So if you struggle with that crackly spot, the primo passaggio, if like the warbly, not a warbly voice like whoa, like not like that. I mean, where your voice cracks on your way up. Like that. Okay? I was making it do that, but that's what I mean. And a lot of teen boys go through, every teen boy at some point their voice drops, and many experience the traumatic situation over anywhere up to about 18 months, but anywhere from overnight to something like 18 months to 2 years for their voice to fully change. And I work with a lot of teen boys, and they will often struggle with that place where their larynx is feels like it's out of control. So we want to learn all the stuff that's going to help give the larynx the best possible scenario for a smooth transition so that you can access your full range. And this is true for adults as well, not just teen boys. Any adult, and I've had men in their 20s who never were able to kind of get rid of that. And the way I have come to view it is we manage it. We support the larynx with excellent breath support and coordination. So we're going to feel what it feels like to move with connected vocal folds from chest to head voice, or from low to high registers. Okay, it's just from resonating down low, where the resonation is happening down here, to resonating up here without losing connection. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to find that creaky door or the edge. And what we're doing is we are finding the edge of the vocal folds, it's not muscle. It's not coming to me because the brain is not helping me. It's the edge of the vocal cords, and we're going to just use the edge. Let's just call it that for now because I can't think of the right word. It's there. It just won't come to my front of my brain. It's back here. So we've got the edge of the vocal cords, and we're just going to kind of stay on the edge. And that's what creates that creaky door, squeaky hinge sound. And you do not need to go hard on it at all. In fact, don't. You want to keep it light. And this is what it sounds like. Ah, 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 ah. Okay. So that's me going from my low range to my head range, my lower voice to my upper voice, my lower range to my upper range, my chest voice to my head voice, however you want to label it. That is what's happening, and I'm maintaining connection. Now, What we do not want to do is lose the connection and end up in falsetto, like this. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, so what's happening there is I am having the squeaky door, the edge, I've got the edge vibrating against each other, but I lose that connection. The larynx shifts not the way I want it to go, and the larynx shifts, and I end up in that falsetto or false voice sound. It is no longer connected in the same manner that it was in the chest voice. So listen again. Here's the way you want it to be. Ah, ah, ah. Do you hear how the edge or squeaky door is consistent all the way from my lower range to my upper range? Here it is where it becomes disconnected and ends up in that weaker, different sounding voice. Ah, 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 ah. No, that was actually correct. It's hard to undo once you learn the correct way. It's difficult to do it the incorrect way. Ah, ah. Oh, I did it right before. I did it the wrong way correctly before. Ah, ah. It's not coming in again. Uh, Let me give you an example. Many, let me think. Sam Smith has a wonderfully connected voice. Uh, Many country female singers will belt, 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 ah, and end up in falsetto voice. It's more diminished, it's weaker sounding, and it sounds like a different voice from their lower range because they have not allowed the larynx to fully shift and do its passaggio to change. Passaggio just means passageway. It's not the actual shift. The larynx shifts, which creates that sensation of a passageway from lower to upper. So, ah, ah, ah. So what you don't want is for that flip to happen and end up in your smaller, weaker, more kind of wispy type voice. Um, okay, hold on. So for this next week, I want you to practice trying to keep that connected squeak voice sound going from your lower range to your upper range. Ah, ah, ah. No, okay, that was flipping into the falsetto. Ah, ah, because you don't want to have. It was not a good idea, but I drank a mocha latte before teaching this. That's not a good idea before you sing. So, or try to do a lot with your vocal folds because of the, it's not so much that it's chocolate or coffee or whatever. It is that it creates those things, particularly the chocolate and the milk, they create extra mucus, which does not help you on top of any other allergens and such that you might be experiencing as mucus creators. So, all right, so I want you to try to connect from your lower portion of your range to your upper portion of your range with that squeaky edge sound. Not too hard, not ah, ah, don't, not like that, but, and not ah, ah, it's not breathy. We're not talking about breath. We're talking about connection, and we're just keeping it right at the edge of the vocal cords. Ah, 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 connected. And just having it stay connected so it doesn't sound like it's flipping in the middle. into a different voice. Ah, ah, that's how you want it to sound. Okay, so give it a try. Send me any questions that you have. And remember, Q&A, no Q&A time next week because I will be on that choir tour ministry trip. Um, but send me your questions and send me your what's in your way issues, okay, so that I can address them.